Mr. Alkes, what do you see as the strategy moving forward to shore up the county coffers? Property taxes, once again, being such a hot potato.
Well, property tax is a big problem, especially with our constituents. I mean, a lot of people don't know about the difference in school taxes, but school taxes are most of our property taxes. And, you know, taxes in Long Island is a major concern. People keep leaving the island because of taxes. And being a small businessman and knowing about all the extra taxes, the MTA tax, having to come up with payroll every week, paying every single bit of the into the funds of the county that Tom spreads out, I would work hard on trying to make taxes lower and using smart business moves in order to keep our county budget proper. I mean, it's smarter to fix a truck than buy a new truck, and I can bring common sense legislative mind into the legislature.
Okay, did you want to respond?
Well, the proof of the pudding is in the performance. In the last 4 years in county government, we have not increased taxes. And that helps the homeowner. That maintains their quality of life. That gives them the ability maybe to stay in. Most of the people I represent are middle-income people, and they are struggling. The last thing they need is for someone to get up and start talking about school taxes when they have no power or control over that. You have to operate in the arena that the voters elected you to perform in. And when it comes to county government, that performance has been delivered and continues to be.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Barraga. Yeah, you may respond. 30 seconds.
Yeah, in reference to what Tom said, that's correct. The county legislator has kept the taxes down. My opponents voted no to, I believe, 90% of every issue that's come across the board. Not delivering to our community, not delivering to our people in the town, not to the seniors, not to the veterans, not to the entire community. And I'm looking for your support in November to represent our town and our community without raising taxes as well.
Do I get a chance to rebut that?
Okay, you may rebut, yep.
Yeah.
Quickly, please.
When I vote no, it's because usually people are trying to spend money we don't have. Families can't do that. Government can't do it either. Most of what I'm voting against are people who want to do bonded indebtedness. Every time you do bonded indebtedness, when you purchase something, no matter what it is, that's another mortgage on the county. That's another mortgage on families that have to be paid down the road. Just take a look at Obama and the bailouts that he's done. He's going to increase the debt trillions of dollars. This is the same kind of philosophy that I'm dead set against, and I want to give the people I serve the best chance of surviving economically.
Okay, we're going to go to break. When we come back, we can probably address this issue a bit further, but we're going to continue with the debate for Suffolk's 11th District, right here on News 12 Long Island, as local news gets. Welcome back to this Island Vote 2009 election special as we continue with the debate for Suffolk's 11th Legislative District. The candidates once again are Republican incumbent Tom Barraga and Democratic challenger Jim Alkes. Let's get back to some questions right now. Long Island is struggling like the rest of the nation with unemployment. How would you create more jobs in Suffolk County and your district in particular? I'd like to begin with you, Mr. Alkes.
Well, in order to create more jobs, part of the problem is our failing infrastructure. And not that I want to vote yes to every project, as Tom had stated, but having a failing infrastructure, if you keep allowing it to get worse, what happens is then instead of spending hundreds of thousands to do repairs, you spend millions to do reconstruction. And what I would like to do is work on our failing infrastructure. In 11th LD, our infrastructure, we haven't had a new building or a new park or anything built since, I can't even tell you the date. So infrastructure projects are key without raising taxes. I would also like to give the homeowners the opportunity to vote on the ballot whether they'd like to do the projects or not. I wouldn't, as a legislator, take initiative and state that you know, this is what we're going to do. I'd like to leave it up to the public to decide if we need new buildings and new parks and new infrastructure. One project is the Bayshore Road project. Not only was it a safety issue, but it was also you know, the road needs repair. I know it passed 17-1, thank God, but my opponent voted against it. Also, in reference to the seniors, they need transportation to go back and forth to the hospital. My opponent voted against it. I know he calls it a member item, but it's not a member item to take the seniors back and forth to the hospital. That's a need. And as a legislator, I will look at all the needs. Breast cancer, Tom voted no against. Mammography, I don't know. My mother had breast cancer, and I don't know how you could vote no against that. Beach erosion, Tom voted no against beach erosion. I mean, that's our biggest tax resource that we're getting in the county at this time.
I have to stop you there. Thank you very much, Mr. Alkes and Mr. Barraga. How would you create more jobs in Suffolk County, your district in particular?
One of the ways of creating jobs right across the board is to make sure government lives within its means. You know, in Nassau and Suffolk County, we have 126 school districts. All right? We have over 900 quasi-levels of different government. Every one of those governments think they're the center of the universe, and they get down there and they spend. Everybody is always against what they call a mandate, you know, until they see one, like the ones he's pointed out. And then they all want to vote for them. And the bottom line, you have a 15 or 16 spread in your voting and your property tax, and your property taxes continually go up and up and up. When that happens, there is restriction on the part of people to spend and to grow. We've had growth in the 11th Legislative District. I don't know where he is. Let him take a look at Stop and Shop. Let him take a look at BMW. Things are happening, but they're happening slower because nationally the funding from the banks is not there. I mean, government can only do so much, but you can't cure a problem by spend and spend and spend. No one wants to do anything against veterans or senior citizens. He's missing the point. It's spending money we don't have. Because if you spend money in those areas, sooner or later I've got to come to Judy Martin and you've got to pay the tab. That's just the way it is, and that has to stop. His position is, oh, we got seniors, we have veterans. I love seniors, I love veterans. You know, I spent time in the military myself. But you know, even they understand you can't have everything. You can't have every want. Sometimes you have to live, even for a short period of time, with need.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Barraga. Mr. Alkas, you have a response to that.
Yeah, in reference to what Tom just said, there's a difference between, I agree. I mean, I run a company. I'd like to buy all new trucks every year, yet I don't. I purchase one approximately every 4 years because that's more realistic and that's in my budget. I know how to run a budget, but there's a difference between saying no to everything and not delivering to our community. Voting no to road repairs, maintenance of county parks, sewer maintenance, case management systems for the DA, paratransit vans for the seniors, working house, police facilities, nutrition vehicles for the aged, and digital monography units, and fire safety equipment. Also,
okay, Mr. Alkas, I'm going to have to stop you there. You have 30 seconds for rebuttal, Mr. Barraga.
Obviously, he would vote for all that because, you know, he knows that the viewers want to hear that. But the reality is when he votes for all of that, there's a cost associated with it. And then Mr. and Mrs. Smith pack up their bags, load up the furniture, and they're off to North Carolina. That's what's happening. We're losing our young people. We're using our older people. The middle class is being strapped to death because of all of this spending. You know, all we're saying here is that we have a crisis, an economic crisis. Let's get through this for 12 months. Then let's see how it all flushes out. But in the meantime, tighten the belt, just like a family tightens up their belt.
Okay, Mr. Alkas, 30 seconds to rebut.
Yeah, I would disagree with that. You know, preventative maintenance, I do agree with Tom on the taxes. Taxes cannot go up because people are leaving the island. However, in reference to not spending the money on monography, not spending the money on beach erosion, not spending the money on helping the seniors, it's going to cost us more money in the long run. That's preventative maintenance that Tom's voting no to. It's not major construction. He's voting no to our community. And I'm not voting yes to everything, but I will help my community, and I can promise you that. I will represent the 11th LD.
All right, Mr. Barraga, 30 seconds.
Yeah, well, the mammography units. We already have mammography units. What they wanted to do is replace the existing ones with ones that were more technically advanced. Right now, the money is just not there, and they even admitted that it would have to be bonded out, okay? And the other thing, when he says he's going to represent the community and he's a good businessman and everything else, he hasn't been open and honest with the people. This guy has an arrest record. This guy was arrested for DWI, and he pled guilty. This guy was arrested for leaving the scene of an accident, and he pled guilty. He was arrested for a suspended license. I mean, these are things that he's not exactly making it known to the community. His environmental conditions or his arrest record.
Okay, Mr. Alkas, you can respond.
Yeah, I would like to respond to that. Yes, in fact, it's true. I had a DWI when I was 18. I did, and it was unfortunate. And, you know, I went through the court system, and I apologize for that. I have never had a drink and drove again. But at 18 years old, Tom's correct. I did have a DWI, and I apologize to everybody. And anybody that knows me, I don't drink, and neither do my children. And don't drink and drive, because it's not good.
Okay.